Hey everybody, a very emotional full moon in Cancer is clocking in on Monday, January 13th, 5:27 p.m. Eastern Time. We're going to look at what this will mean for each zodiac sign, talk a little astrology, dive in with the tarot, give you a message, a heads up, some information that you can use to navigate this interesting full moon in Cancer. Keep watching. So welcome to the channel, or welcome back. So awesome to see you here. My name is Stella Wilde, and I like to give you the intuitive information you need to manifest your wildest dreams. It's all about using astrology and tarot to create real transformation in our lives. First of all, I just want to extend my heartfelt thoughts, prayers, energy to anybody in the California area who's going through this very, very upsetting situation with the wildfires. My heart goes out to all of you, and I hope you're safe. So we have the full moon in Cancer happening on Monday, January 13th, as I said. It is conjunct the retrograde Mars, which is stirring up all sorts of deep stuff we maybe would prefer not to look at. Mars can be testy. Mars can be a little witchy bitchy. Mars can be a retrograde Mars in Cancer. Conjunct the full moon. It can be all of these things. It can be testy, impatient, upset. It could get triggered at the littlest thing because that trigger is perhaps getting into something subterranean and deeper emotionally that hasn't been dealt with yet. So, as with all full moons, they bring intense energies, and it's a great idea to try to cool your jets, especially with Mars involved. Try to not let situations get blown out of proportion. Watch your testiness, watch any sort of hurtful comments, all of that type of thing. We will look at the effects, possible effects, or what you need to know about this full moon for each of the signs. Watch for your rising sign first, then your sun sign. Combine the messages, and that's as personal as we can get when we're talking about a general reading here on YouTube. So Cancer, being ruled by the moon, has associations with, of course, home, family, our emotional body, what makes us feel secure and comfortable. But that sense of security and that sense of comfort may, in fact, as I said, be getting triggered at this full moon because it is squaring Chiron, the wounded healer, which is in Aries currently and has been in there for a while. And we have Aries ruler Mars on the full moon in Cancer and retrograde. So situations, painful situations, triggering situations, sensitive situations could be coming around again for some sort of release and healing and retrospection and, maybe a cosmic do-over. That's possible because the moon is catching support from Saturn and Neptune. So I think if a situation is handled responsibly, Saturn, and with high spiritual intention and awareness, Neptune, there could be a healing. There could be a profound healing. Yes, maybe it starts off with something getting triggered, but if you can take the path of responsibility and awareness, it might work out better. Now, of course, this is just a general statement, and I don't know exactly what's going on in everybody's personal lives. But moon is about cycles also. So ultimately, this can be an opportunity to release a cycle that perhaps has been unproductive or that you are finally healed from and you're ready to move on from it. But Mars retrograde in Cancer, is encouraging us to look deep within at those emotions that can be triggering. And a lot of us don't want to do that. We'd rather just, lash out, act out, and not deal with the inner emotional work that needs to be done to, grow up and be an adult. So, but all of these are potential themes. How it plays out exactly in your own life is going to be how it plays out in your own life. This is just to give you a general sense of the energies, the energy signature, the energetic weather, in a sense. That's what astrology is. It's an energetic weather report. And these are the potentialities that are in play with this full moon in Cancer on January 13th. All right, Aries, let's see what you need to know about this full moon in your 4th house with your ruling planet conjunct it retrograde. Okay, so especially Aries people who were born from the 10th to the end of the sign, there may be a very healing catharsis for you at this full moon. The reason I'm saying that is you've had Chiron kind of dogging on you the last year on your sun. So, and I believe Chiron is retrograde right now as well. So those of you born in the last 9 days or so of the Aries sign, you may feel this full moon very liberating and freeing as you release some sort of heavy emotional karmic burden. Now, other Aries, of course, can feel that way too, but especially because Aries in the latter portion of the sign have been dealing with Chiron. That's why I'm saying that. Like conjunct their sun. Okay. All right. So ruling planet retrograde. I hope you're getting enough rest. You may feel especially tired at this full moon because your ruling planet's retrograde and it's a full moon and it's in the house of your foundation. And one of our foundation is our physical body. This would be a great weekend for you to get rest at home. I know that's a terrible thing to say to an Aries, but that's what I would suggest. I suggested, I'm not telling you what to do, my dears. All right, let's see. Let's see what you need to know. But there could be this beautiful healing, but you got to watch it that you don't get triggered. All right, look, we have a King of Cups. We have a 9 of Cups. We have, look, see, I told you, 4 of Swords. You need to rest. You need to rest. And 3 Swords. And here you are. Okay. This is what I feel. This full moon can give you an emotional, physical, and mental reboot of your energy. There is something here that I think you are releasing. You may be dealing with a past heartbreak or you're processing through some losses or whatever. I think these have already happened. I'm not feeling it's coming at this full moon. I mean, could it? Sure, but I don't think so. We start out with a King and we end with a King. So we have heavy emotional energy with the King of Cups here. You have a very, very strong emotional desire, King of Cups, for a beautiful wish to manifest in your life. Okay? And it's going to manifest in your life. But first, coffee. No, sorry. But first, that phrase was written for Aries. But first, coffee. We can't do anything without our coffee. But first, you need to 4 Swords yourself, and you need to address whatever's still here that could possibly be blocking you from achieving this wish. I mean, that's possible. But I'm just feeling more, it's emotional and mental preparation for what's going to be coming in your birthday season. Okay, so this King of Cups is saying to me, you intuitively have the strong sense that something big is on its way to manifest in your life. And like I said, I think around your birthday. And it's going to be a very sincere wish that manifests for you. And it really changes your whole emotional vibe. And it brings healing to whatever this was over here. Okay. But first, the 4 Swords is in your heart. You do need a break. I would suggest with this 3 of Swords, just have a gentle stroll down memory lane. Don't beat yourself up. I mean, do whatever you want, but I would have a gentle stroll. So if you're going through old, postcards or letters or photographs or, scrolling your phone, looking at messages somebody sent you. I mean, whatever, right? I know for me, I'll probably be doing this weekend. I have some voicemails from my dad, and I've been wanting to download them. And I'm like, yeah, I guess I'll do it at the full moon in Cancer, because if I boo-hoo a little, like, that's okay. That's like what you're supposed to do at a full moon in Cancer, have a little boo-hoo. So, but that's the type of thing I mean. Like, have a constructive stroll down memory lane that, maybe a little tender and painful, but it's also part of that healing process. And just take a time out, take a break for yourself. Because then we have your energy here at the end, this King of Wands, which is this sense of empowerment. You are feeling something to free it. It's the process of the healing that you're going through. So, but you do need to do this. And it is in the house of family, it's the 4th house. There could be some memories from the past, with this full moon. But just, don't do your usual Aries thing of, kind of moving on quickly from it. Don't dwell, but also don't go the other direction and go too fast either. That's what I feel. Because there's like a cleansing energy to this is what I'm feeling. And it's going to help you get yourself back on track. Not that you're not on track now, but this is lingering in the background, whatever this is over here. And it's just wise. I mean, you don't have to live your life by astrology. Of course not. It's just a guide. It's not like you must do this. But, when I talk about using the energies, that is exactly what I mean. When you have your ruling planet retrograde and it's conjunct a full moon in your 4th house of the home, you freaking stay home. You stay home and you rest. Especially we have the 4 that's showing up here. There's no need to go gallivanting all around and wearing yourself out to try to escape some feelings that you don't want to deal with, because guess what? They just come back around and bite you in the you-know-where. And what I'm feeling with this energy is like, you want to feel like fresh, cleansed, whole, and back inspired and raring to go. And this full moon can help you do that if you use the energies to just heal and recenter yourself. Taurus, you have a big full moon in Cancer in your 3rd house of your mind. And we have Mars going retrograde conjunct the full moon. Mars rules your 12th house of the subconscious. So I think you're having a major rethink about a course of action that you want to take. I think this full moon could bring some insights into maybe some motivations of people around you, your own motivations of, getting some sort of epiphany or awakening of, oh, do I really want to do that? You could be not necessarily second guessing yourself, but maybe just exploring the emotional territory, the emotional landscape of your own mind, your thoughts, your feelings in terms of a direction you want to go in. And is it aligned? All right. So there's a major rethink, and could be some sort of revelation, epiphany, and your dream life especially could be very potent and powerful and give you the message that you need to kind of decide which way you want to move forward with whatever you're contemplating. Yeah, we have an 8 of Swords. Interesting. We have the Justice. We have the 2 of Cups. We have the Fool. And we have the 8 of Cups. Okay, so I think you're going to get some emotional relief and release at this full moon with this 8 of Cups here. I think you're it could go 2 ways depending on what you have going on, really. Some of you are contemplating, how do I move forward? Fool here. How do I move forward with a new beginning and feel emotionally free even though I'm still kind of psychically attached to somebody in my life, even though there may have been a divorce, the Justice here. So some of you are dealing with that. You know, and you'll figure that out. You'll have the epiphany, because right now you're still kind of stuck, Eight of Swords, maybe on this relationship, especially if the divorce or the breakup with the Justice here has been new. And now, you know, you don't kind of know what exactly to do with your freedom yet, the Fool. And that's why you're kind of trying to figure out, well, where and how do I navigate this? You know, the third house is our mind. You know, it is about this rethinking, but Mars is about the action. So it's like your action and your thoughts need to come together, but the Mars is retrograde. So you're having this rethink of how we get that alignment. And it has to do with some sort of emotional freedom, perhaps moving on to a new goal. So that, you know, but some of you are still kind of stuck on someone, perhaps. You haven't quite processed, oh, that they're not in my life anymore. We're divorced, or it's over, or whatever. Now, others of you, it could go the other way. With the Libra here, which is your sixth house of work and well-being, it could be, too, that you are really hoping there's some sort of negotiation. Like you're really adamantly focused, Eight of Swords, like you're determined that there be this deal going down, Justice and the Two of Cups. I think something might go a little differently than what you're expecting. You may choose something else with the Fool and the Eight of Cups. So you do want some sort of maybe a new negotiation, a fresh beginning, an offer, contract. There's something you're negotiating maybe with your work. As I said, whatever you're currently fixated on of how you want that to be or what it is may change. And you may have that revelation, or the full moon in Cancer. We know full moons bring news. The full moon in Cancer could bring a news that it's not this, it's something else, right? Because Justice can always be, sorry, the lights here. Justice can always be two things. So, and we have a 2 in your heart. So what you're expecting and currently fixated on may shift with the Fool. There may be an entirely different new beginning for you. And that's why we have the Eight of Cups. You're going to move on in a different way than what you're currently thinking. Gemini, the full moon in Cancer is in your second house of Show Me the Money. Mars retrograde on that full moon could bring a heated or triggering discussion about finances. Now, it could be with friends or family. It could be with work or something, but Mars retrograde, Mars, whenever it goes through our second house, it can bring additional expenses. It can rev up like the outflows, right? So with it retrograde over the moon, there could be a trigger of this again? Like something you thought you had paid off, maybe you misinterpreted it, or they're trying to charge you again for it. So there could be some triggering things going on with your finances. Remember, this too shall pass. Okay, so try to keep an even keeled perspective on this. And let's see what we have for you. We have the 5 of Swords. And we have the 3 of Coins. We have the Capricorn in the heart. We have the 8 of Pentacles. And we have the Fool. Okay. So we have your 8th house in the heart of the situation, which is other people's money. And it is money that we deal with in terms of mortgages, insurance, taxes, refinancing, debts, all of that other people's money stuff. And that's what's in your heart. So you could be feeling particularly like, ugh, I got to deal with this again. But be of good cheer, because I think that this full moon, because it has a little bit of a do-over quality with it, with the Mars retrograde, with the Saturn, the Neptune support, there could be a solution if you're dealing with some sort of red tape or bureaucracy when it comes to your finances, especially that which deals with other people's money. Now, we do have stress and worry here with this Five of Swords. And you're like crying in the corner, like, not this again. Okay. But we have the Three of Pentacles, which is about making a plan, coming up with some sort of solution. And then we have the Eight of Coins hammering out. There she is with her hammer. I'm so sorry, these lights are so bright. Hammering out her deal, finding a solution. This is your fourth house, the Virgo, of your financial foundation. And then we have a new beginning. So what I would say here is do not give up and give in to some sort of mental stress or frustration if there is some sort of situation like that. Doggedly pursue, that's Saturn, doggedly pursue some sort of plan and try to negotiate with whomever you are dealing with. And don't take, don't take no for an answer. Like, make something work out. Most places when you negotiate, they want their money. So if we're dealing with a debt or, taxes you have to pay or whatever, like, this is working out some sort of payment plan. Okay, so you got this. Be stubborn, be dogged, be, that energy in your heart of the devil of not giving up. That's very Capricorn. It's very like, I'm going to beat them at their own game. Get whatever legal information you need as well. Like there may be state laws or something where they can't do certain things and they have to offer a payment plan. Now, this is not financial advice. Do your own research, but there can be something like that. Just don't give up. I think this is positive energy here that you could solve some sort of situation like this in your life. All right, Cancer, big full moon in your sign. Spotlight on you. And Mars retrograde in your sign also. Okay, so this is really a time for you to center yourself. Don't let other people trigger you. Be patient. Go hide in your shell if you need to until the storms have passed. And don't allow yourself to get triggered, honestly. Now, we have Chiron in your 10th house of career and calling, squaring Mars. So there might be some sort of brouhaha or shenanigans at work, maybe a chronic issue, problem, toxicity, some sort of scenario like that may be triggered again. Try not to be the one that looks like the crazy one. You know what I'm saying? That is flying off the handle, which can happen to anybody when we get triggered, of course. It can. But it would be better to take the Saturn and Neptune road here of, playing by the rules and doing what you have to do, rather than lashing out, getting triggered, especially in some sort of professional scenario, So try to just kind of keep that in mind. Of course, this could just be something personal that's going on with you. 10th house is also our public marriage partner. It is the public in some way. So if you are out and about in the public, same thing. Watch the road rage. Watch the, whatever's going on and feeling you have to intervene or something like that. Just lay low. Lay low with this type of energy. And just take good care also of your physical body. Again, I'm not saying something's going to happen, but Mars rules Aries. Aries rules the head. So this is a classic energy of getting a migraine. Classic. Because of some sort of emotional frustration, whatever's going on. So migraines, you don't want to be upset and you're rushing and you break your glasses. That's another type energy or, whatever, something to do with any of that. But Aries does rule the head. So you want to be careful. You're not rushing and you fall because you're angry, that type of thing. Okay. All right. So as I was saying to Aries, you want to take a chill pill. You and Aries need to take a chill pill with this full moon. I mean, we probably all do, but especially Aries and Cancer. All right, let's see what we have here. We have the Magician, okay. And we have the Three of Pentacles. We have the Hierophant in your heart. We have the Knight of Wands. There's that rushing energy. And we have the Two of Wands. Okay, this is very good. So this is excellent, beautiful energy, which is suggesting to me focus inward on yourself and take on board the lessons you have learned, the Hierophant in your heart, of not taking things personally, looking at them from a higher spiritual perspective, etc., and so on, and really just focus on yourself, the Magician and the Three of Pentacles. Make a plan that you're taking care of yourself this weekend. TLC, baby. So, do something creative. This is highly creative energy, the Magician and the Three of Coins. If you're feeling frustrated and upset, write in your journal. Go, sketch or paint. Go bake a cake. I mean, that's creative. Whatever that is calling to you to do. And really just focus on yourself. I mean, that is the thing. Your hopes, your wishes, your dreams, plans for your future. That's the other thing as well. So turn the attention back to yourself, to hopeful and beautiful things, and don't get caught up in whatever Mishigas maelstrom craziness is out there trying to trigger you. And then we have this Knight of Wands and this Two of Wands. So, I think you're going to be reconnecting. I mean, Mars is passion also. You are going to be reconnecting with some sort of passionate energy at this full moon that is allowing you to dream again about new possibilities in your life. You're not choosing anything yet. You're a little bit looking at the different possibilities, the crossroads here with this Two of Wands. You're not committing yourself to anything just yet. You will be soon. I think there's going to be some sort of new pathway for you, probably in Aries season, since the fire's coming out here. And you're going to figure it out what that's going to be. But any type of fiery energy that you're experiencing in your world, bring it back to using it as fuel for your future. So I like examples. Here's an example. Let's just say somebody is really annoying you at work. That's that Chiron in the 10th house. Like, they're just being jerky faces. It's been going on. You've been complaining about it. Nobody does anything. The managers don't care. Let's say that jerky face does something super jerky face, building up to this full moon. You're just like, okay, I'm not going to respond. I got to take a deep breath. And I have got to start looking online. I've got to start looking for another job, or, create my own job or whatever, because I'm not putting up with this shenanigan. And really use it as fuel. This to me here is use whatever is going on with you as fuel to create your future, rather than lashing out, toward the person. So it is your personal full moon. So really use that to illuminate, well, what are my dreams for my future? And with the Mars retrograde in your first house, you could be rethinking what you want from your future, rethinking your identity, who you are, what you want to create, what you want to do. So use the energy to do that rather than responding to any outside stimuli that is jerky face. Leos, we have a full moon in your 12th house of self-undoing, the subconscious, things behind the scenes, kind of like the closet of our lives, like things that we just kind of shove in there and we don't want to look at them. It's like that type of thing. So this full moon with Mars, which, was in your sign and then went retrograde into Cancer. So retrograde Mars conjunct Cancer in your 12th house is bringing things up for review, emotional stuff from that closet where you put the things and you didn't want to look at them. And this has to do probably with your big picture of your life, like the hopes, wishes, and dreams, the goals, where you see yourself heading in your life, like how you want to expand and grow in all areas of your life. So this full moon could be bringing you very important illuminations, epiphanies about, yeah, you know what? I really want to get my energy more aligned so I can pursue this over here. That's what's really calling and speaking to my soul, not this other junk over here. But there may be some stuff to clear out in the subconscious of, oh, I can't do this, I can't do that, or just stuff you got to clear up and clear out so that you can pursue some sort of new path for yourself that is calling to your spirit a lot more. So this is what's maybe getting triggered for you and coming to the surface with this full moon in Cancer. So let's see what you need to know, Leos. We have the Six of Wands. We have the Chariot. Wow. We have the Seven of Wands. We have the Ten of Cups. And we have the Two of Swords. Okay. All right, this is what I feel. Some of you may be thinking that somebody close to you is holding you back from doing something. And that is not the case. That is, I think, an erroneous belief. I think you're holding yourself back from doing something because of the Seven of Wands in your heart, which is the Ring of Fire is all around her. This can be a very defensive energy. It can be, it could be a fearful energy. Oh, the Seven of Wands is brave. It is Mars, Seven of Wands. It can be a brave energy, but it's more defensive in a sense. It's All right, we have this Ten of Cups, which represents somebody close to you. It could be family. It could be, your family group. It could just be one person, whomever who's very close to you. And then we have this Two of Swords. You're thinking they're the problem. They're why I can't do blah, blah, blah. They won't like it if I do X, Y, Z. Look what we have here. We have this Six of Wands and this Chariot. And the ninth house, which is where Chiron is and which Mars rules for you, is about travel. We have two energies of travel here. But ninth house is expansion. I mean, just in a general sense. The Six of Wands is about, this victory and success in something that we have done, that we have created through some sort of exploration, getting out of a comfort zone and using our leadership abilities. The Chariot here, which is about us controlling our destiny, doing what we want, making that chariot go down the path that we choose. We choose it. You choose it. So I think you're looking for more opportunity to control your destiny, to do what you want, but at the same time, you're feeling defensive about it. I can't do it, or I'm not choosing it because of these people over here. So I would really look at that. Maybe there's a conversation that needs to be had with somebody close to you. Maybe there is an erroneous belief that you have about that. Sometimes we assume things. We assume somebody wouldn't like it if we spread our wings with the Chariot here. We spread our wings and we took a sabbatical for a couple of weeks in the mountains to write our book or whatever. And we think, oh, they would hate that. They would, be so upset if we were gone for 3 weeks, or we want to go 3 weeks to visit somebody or go to a reunion or do something that maybe wouldn't include somebody else. Because this is very personal energy here, this Six of Wands and this Chariot. So that's what I'm feeling from this, of you negotiating your own limiting beliefs about what is possible for you, because you're saying these people wouldn't like it if I do it. Or how am I going to do it because of X, Y, Z with this Ten of Cups. Okay. If you look inward and get real with yourself about what's keeping you from this Ring of Fire, busting loose and explore, having this sense of adventure and exploration a little bit more and expansiveness in your life, I think you'll find that the answer lies within you. All right, Virgo, let's see what you need to know about the full moon in Cancer, which is happening in your 11th house of hopes and wishes and dreams and friendships and networks and personal gains. And Mars is retrograde there. All right. Okay, so Mars retrograde in the 11th house. There could be some sort of friend who comes back around. There could be some sort of disagreement with a friend group or a friend that comes back around again. Will there be an apology? Maybe. It's possible. You could just be reevaluating, do I really want to be with this group of people? Something could be really brought to your attention, full moons illuminate, of how some group of people is not emotionally aligning or fitting with you. And what are you going to do about it? You're rethinking all of that, the Mars retrograde. But it's the type of thing where you could go out with a group of people and have the epiphany while you're out with them. You may have been kind of getting an inkling, this isn't quite fitting. These people are not quite fitting in my life anymore. But you know how that is. We sometimes we're still socializing. We go out and then we're kind of we're miserable. We're like, oh, this doesn't feel good anymore. This feels weird or whatever. So that could be happening. And it's not anything that anybody did anything bad. It can just be that sense of recognizing that you've grown. And maybe that particular group was appropriate for a certain time in your life, but now it's not. So it can be something like that. And there can be, of course, some sort of healing component going on with all of this because of the Aries energy, and that rules your 8th house of transformation, and Chiron's there squaring this. So you could feel the pangs of outgrowing some sort of friendship group. That's what I feel. I mean, other things could be going on too, but that's one of the main energies. We have a 6 of coins. We have a 2 of coins. It could be 2 friend groups. We have the Sun in your heart. We have the Knight of Cups. And we have the King of Wands. We have the Aries energy. Okay. So this is what I feel. I mean, I think you're going to recognize it. I think you're going to recognize that you're outgrowing a certain group of people, certain friendships. But there's no ill will here. I mean, there's nothing negative. You have the Sun in your heart. You have the Knight of Cups. I think you're going to take it upon yourself with this King of Wands, which is very dynamic, very action-oriented, very let's go get it. You're going to take it upon yourself to let's go get it and let's start socializing Knight of Cups with some different people. And this Sun in your heart is I want people who maybe are a little more emotionally balanced, a little more optimistic, a little more happy with their lives, maybe something like that. But I don't think you're going to totally get rid of the other friend groups because we have the 2 of coins here, the balance. We have the 6 of coins, the balance. So you could still be kind of balancing another group. But I think you're going to start moving more toward seeking out new friendships that just bring more emotional happiness and stability and a little bit of excitement and fire to your life. The 6 of coins here, it could be, and with the 2 of coins, it could be that you're doing a lot in this other friend group over here. It's more based on what you're doing for them because this is your energy, the earth. You're the one who's the giver, the 6 of coins. And not that they always are the takers, but there's maybe a delicate balance that isn't always in your favor. And then the 2 of coins, you kind of go back and forth. Well, should I still be with these people? I don't know. You kind of go around with it. But again, I don't feel like there's anything ill will here or bad, but just you want something where it's more free. It's more fun. It's not based in so much of what you are giving and you are doing. It's more based in this Sun energy and this Knight of Cups energy and this King of Wands of the passion, the fire, creative friendships, just people who've got stuff going on in their lives and are not looking to you to be the fixer. All right, Libras, let's see what you need to know about the full moon in Cancer, which is happening in your 10th house of career. 10th house is also our public marriage partner. So apply the energies to your life. But with Mars conjunct this full moon and retrograde in the 10th house, this could possibly play out in maybe an opportunity from the past coming back around. It's possible. Maybe some old Mars is fighting. Maybe some old fight or strategy or strategic action or thorn in your side. I mean, that's possible also. Comes back around to trigger you in some way at your workplace, or this could be your partner's dealing with this. It's possible if you have a partner. Chiron is in your 7th house of relationships. So, you know, you could be dealing with people who are, who have a lot of issues, let's just say. You could be dealing with something that maybe triggers your own relationship wounds or karma or something. It's very interesting how we sometimes, actually a lot more than sometimes, probably quite often, end up in work environments that mirror exactly our family of origin issues. It's quite interesting, actually. So it could be like something like that is reminding you of something from a past marriage or your current marriage or your past home life or something that's going on at work. So, you know, that's possible. Let's see. All right. But you could also be fighting for your rights in some way with your career, or it could be something as simple as re-strategizing. Something to do with your career so that you can not go down the same road all the time, that you heal something. Let's see. Let's see what we have. Libras. We have the moon. And we have the 7 of Cups. Okay. We have the Fool in your heart. We have the 2 of Wands. And we have the Page of Cups. Okay. All right. So what's really interesting here with this moon and the 7 of Cups, 7 of Cups can be Delulu land, you know, totally delusional. Can be, especially when it's next to the moon. So I'm feeling here that if you're just hoping you're going to just emotionally escape from this, if you're just hoping something miraculously is going to shift and change, well, I don't know about that. 7 of Cups can be just being in, you know, like I said, the imaginary la la land of your emotional escape with the moon here. But the Mars retrograde and squaring Chiron is, I think, bringing home a sensitive and important point that if you want something to change, you're going to have to do it. The Fool is in your heart. So that does suggest to me you would like some sort of new beginning, a healing, an escape, something to materialize. You know, maybe you're disappointed with something going on with your career right now with the moon. And the 7 of Cups, but just wishing alone is not going to make it so. There will need to be some effort and some forward motion. But the problem is also with this 2 of Wands here, you're really not sure of which direction you want to go, and you're standing at that crossroads. And that's okay right now with the retrograde. But I would say by the time Mars goes direct on February 23rd, with this Pisces season energy showing up here with the Page of Cups, you know, you might want to have a sense of where you're going and what you're going to choose, that you are actually moving forward emotionally and accepting and realizing that you got to get behind and get with the program, like get behind your actions and get with the program and move it along here and make a solid plan for yourself and actually choose a destination. Right? You can't, how are you going to reach a goal if you don't even know what the destination is? So I think that this full moon in Cancer can help you have the realization that, yeah, you got to get some sort of forward plan in motion for yourself, but use the timing. That's the thing. Use the timing. Maybe right now the timing is, okay, you know what? I can't hide away in the shadows anymore. If I want this to change, if I want recognition, if I want, more money, whatever it might be, then I got to go out there, the fool. I got to take a risk. I got to, move along here and find that which will give me that. So you could have been holding on, hopefully in the shadows here, for something to change in your current environment. And you could be waking up to the realization with this full moon in Cancer that perhaps it's not going to, that your treasure maybe lies elsewhere. It's possible. Also with the moon and the 7 of Cups, if there is somebody at your workplace who really is somebody who is on the edge and lives over the edge, shall we just say, we'll be polite here, they really could have some sort of meltdown, this moon 7 of Cups. And that may add fuel to your fire here of, I got to get out of here, this fool. I've got in your heart, I've got to get out. So I think this is good. I think you're going to have some realizations. And I feel like this is more if you're really in a situation that is, not good. I mean, watch for your rising sign and your sun sign and kind of combine the messages. And as I said, because this is the 10th house, this could be applying to your partner more so than you. So allow the full moon to illuminate that which you really need to see with very clear eyes, that may be hastening you, giving you a little bit of a kick in the bum to make a decision about your next move forward. All right, Scorpio. So you have a full moon happening in your 9th house of the big picture perspective of your life, like where you see yourself going. But Mars is retrograde there. I'm kind of wondering if you're going to have a lot of emotional retrospection, like travel down memory lane to put your past in some sort of perspective, so you can move forward and see where you're going next with more clarity. So that's possible. Something very mundane might be that a travel opportunity from the past comes back around. Very possible. There could be some sort of do-over with, if you're involved in writing and manuscripts and stuff like that, there could be a do-over because that's the 9th house of publishing and that type of thing. So you could be redoing that in some way with Mars retrograde in the 9th house, the full moon. You could be maybe a little perfectionistic with some sort of project like that. But what I'm feeling more so is that you're having this kind of emotional retrospective. Mars rules Aries, which is your 6th house of work and well-being. So this also could be connected with you reviewing your past in terms of your work life in some way and trying to figure out what you want to do next, or, something like that. But in terms of your well-being, you could also be contemplating if you should revisit a certain healing professional, if you should revisit a certain place, if you should maybe consider moving back there. It might help your well-being in some way. So these are all possibilities here that might be going on for you. As I say, you have to apply the energies to your specific life situations. But let's see what we have here. I mean, there's tension with Chiron in the 6th and the full moon and Mars retrograde in your 9th. There's kind of tension between where you are and where you want to be. It's like that type of thing. But don't let yourself get triggered or down on yourself if, you're not exactly where you want to be. It's all coming in divine timing. Here you are. King of Cups. The Judgment. So you're getting down on yourself. The Judgment card. Justice in your heart. Another karma card. The World. Another karma card. And the 7 of Wands. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, I think that I'm just kind of like tuning in with the energies. I do think that you are done with something in your life. But you also know that the time is not exactly correct yet with this Judgment card here with the clock on it for you to take action. I think what you're doing is you're really putting up a very strong energetic boundary with the Seven of Wands to protect yourself in some way from whatever the current energies are around you before you can make a move, before you can move forward and wrap something up. But I think like this is a very interesting combo of cards. So we have the Judgment, then we have the Justice in the Heart, then we have the World. So as I said, I think you have already decided, or you're about to decide with this full moon, that something is well and truly over in your world. And it's interesting because we're talking about the 9th house, which is the world house. It's the house of the world, travel, expansion. That's where the full moon is for you. But we could just look at it literally as your world. So I think you are like, this is done in my world, but I have to have the Justice. I have to have the patience to weigh all the facts, the figures, and the timing of when I can make this move. But in the meantime, as I said, you may be dealing with something that is challenging. So you're going to put up some strong energetic boundaries before you can make a move on this. And you know, that makes sense too, because Mars is retrograde. It won't go direct until February 23rd. And then we have like, you know, we have like a week, and then Venus goes retrograde. And then 2 weeks after that, Mercury goes retrograde. So I think here you're working with the timing of the energies. You're very intuitively tuned into that and the cycles and the timings. But like I said, I feel you've made the decision. The Justice is the Libra that rules your 12th house of the behind the scenes. So if this has something to do with your work, like you're still going to show up and do what you need to do. But, you know, you have very clear boundaries around, like, I'm leaving at 5 o'clock. That's when my time is up. Goodbye. Like you're not, you know, you're not going to put in extra effort or do whatever because you've already decided you're going to expand. You're going to move on, but you'll just do what is necessary in the meantime. So it can be something like that. But it's also here, this 12th house is very intuitive. The King of Cups is showing up here, very intuitive. As I said, this Mars retrograde at this full moon is helping you recognize there is a natural flow and intuitive timing to this decision of you moving on in some way. And you just have to bear with that timing. And you may not like it. This could be a little frustrating. The ring of fire around you may be like, because this is Mars. But you know it's for your own good. And so I think you'll be okay with it. But you got some big, look at these 3 major arcana. You got some big changes on the way for you, I think, with something significant going on with your career. All right, Sagittarius, big full moon happening in your 8th house of transformation, physical, mental, emotional, psychological, other people's money, taxes, inheritances, mortgages, insurance, all of that stuff. We got Chiron, you know, squaring this full moon, Mars conjunct the full moon. All of that's connected with your 5th house of creativity, love, romance, taking a risk, the house of the entrepreneur. So there could be some interesting rethinking of investments of time and energy when it comes to creative projects. There could be something you're transforming about that. There could be something where you're rethinking combining your assets with somebody else, like a romantic partner or children. Okay, because it rules both. The 5th house rules both. So you could be, and it doesn't mean that you're not going to do it, but there could be some, you know, triggering things or things you're really rethinking if this is the right course of action. Should I combine my resources with my partner? Should we move in together? Should I, put my kids into a living trust or something like that? I mean, there's all these possibilities. So let us see. There could be some sort of like, do I want to have this person invest in my creative project? Do I want to sell my trademark or my patent or my creative rights or something like that to this individual? So that's possible too. All right, let's see. But the emotional trigger is to realize that you are worthy and not to just give in to somebody else's demands, but to really rethink if this is aligned for you. Because remember, we have triggering energy here at this full moon in Cancer. All right, let's see what we have going on. Wow, Ace of Pentacles. And the 3 of Swords. Nine of Pentacles in your heart. Okay. The World. And the 5 of Swords. Okay. Okay. All right, this is what I feel. I mean, I'm just going to say it. I think somebody's not going to like a decision that you make, but it's your decision and you're doing it to protect yourself. Okay? Three of Swords, 5 of Swords in this context, if we are talking about money in some way, which I think we are with the 9 of Coins and then this Ace of Coins here. And the World is just whoever is in your world, but it could also be dealing with, heavy hitters, so to speak, in the world of finance, like those things I mentioned before, mortgages, insurances, taxes, like those types of big agencies, big like type of things to deal with. But this Ace of Coins, aces for me are about the self. So there is some sort of money scenario that you are rethinking. And is it in my best interest? The 9 of Coins is in your heart. You want to protect your finances in some way. Because maybe you got burned before. 3 of Swords. So that is what you are concerned about. I think you're going to think of yourself and you're going to make a decision that's appropriate for you to, like I said, I feel like this is a very protective influence that we have here. But somebody is not going to like it. This person's going to cry in the corner, but there you are standing steadfast and you're like, no, this is what I need to do for myself. Because remember, we are talking about Chiron here, and Chiron is about lessons that can be painful, but ultimately, if we learn from them, they're very healing and we don't make those mistakes again. So I think that, the Chiron in the 5th, if you've been burned or wounded before by lovers, kids, whomever, with financial matters, and these are coming up and around again with this full moon conjunct Mars, and somebody's trying to guilt trip you, strong arm you, Mars. If there's a money argument that comes back around again, you will put your foot down. You will put your foot down and say enough is enough. There could be, with the World here, it is possible that you may cut somebody off financially. It's possible. Okay, you may say to them, no more. Go do your own thing. It's very possible here because here they are. After this 5 of Swords is after the card of endings, the World. So I think you're going to be dealing, Sag, with some sort of delicate financial scenario. I do think with the 9 of Coins in your heart and the World, if there's something that you're trying to negotiate financially with other people's money, I think you could come to some sort of successful conclusion, but then you're still having a little stress for some reason. I'm not sure what that's about, but try to manage that, because I think with the World and the 9 of Coins, you are maybe solving some sort of money issue at this full moon. It's possible. All right, Capricorn. Capricorn, let's see what you need to know about the full moon in your 7th house of other people. Relationships, both business and personal. And Mars is conjunct the full moon. Oh, aren't you lucky? So there could be people in your world who are very cranky pants. Mars rules your 4th house. So these could be people you live with. It could be roommates. It could be family. It could be your cat. Could be, it could be family members, etc. So you really do not want to get in any sort of contentious arguments with people because they are triggered, they are feisty, they are fired up. And you know how it is sometimes that Capricorn gets used, as the sounding board, and because you're so good at listening and solving people's problems, and then they like throw it all on you. So keep that in mind, but you don't have to put up with anybody's shenanigans. If they're being triggered and nasty and acting out or whatever, like tell them to take a chill pill and go the other way. So let's see. And moon is about cycles. So there can, of course, be some sort of argument, maybe with a family member or roommate or whatever, that comes back around again. Like it's something that just keeps resurfacing and is very triggering, either for you, for them. Is it something where you can agree to disagree? I don't know, but that might be a good thing to do. Oh, we have a 10 of Swords. And we have a Tower. Isn't that delightful? Empress. 5 of Coins. And the Hangman. Perspective. Okay. This is what I feel. I think you are dealing with somebody. This is not your energy. What I feel like you're the Empress here, and you're also the Hangman, the Perspective card. I think you're dealing with somebody who could be feeling very victimized in some way. Now, it doesn't mean you victimize them. It can just be they have a victim mentality with this 10 of Swords, and this 5 of Coins, that nothing ever goes right. Everybody's out to get them. Blah, 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 blah. You know the story. And you've been listening, you've been putting up, it could be, family member. It could be, like I said, a roommate, whomever's in your world. And you've been patient. The Empress is in your heart. You've had saintly patience in dealing with this person. Now, this person could also be your mother or a sister or an aunt because of this in your heart. But this, I also feel, is your energy. I think they may pop off with this Tower next to this 10 of Swords. They may have another situation that goes wrong in their life. And once again, they're going to complain. They're going to be, knocking at your door, 5 of Coins, for the saintly patience and cup of tea and a cookie that you're going to give them, or that you usually give them, to support and listen to them. But I think you've had enough. That's what I feel. Like with this Perspective card, I think that you're going to, with the clock here, I think you're not going to pick up the phone, and you are going to be out. You're going to be out doing other things. You are not available. Your schedule is not available because, you've kind of had enough with this situation. So I think you're going to allow somebody to stew in their own juices, and you are not going to engage with it. That's what I would advise with this Empress and the Perspective. And I would also say too, unless you're their mother, then it's different maybe, but you may not be their mother with the Empress in your heart, but that's how they've been treating you. They've been treating you as this energy that's always going to love them no matter how they behave, even when their behavior is totally inappropriate. And they may not realize what an energy suck they are with this 10 of Swords and the Tower. It's never anything good with these people, with this particular person and this 5 of Coins. So, it's like the Empress and the Perspective card you know, this can be this energy of sacrifice and being a martyr. I think you're going to be over and done with that, Capricorn. Like you've paid your dues. You've done your time in trying to help this person or listen to them or deal with them. Like I said, Saint Patience here with this Empress in your heart. You know, you have been loving and kind to this person. But I think time's up. Time's up. There's going to be something here where time is up, I think, with a certain energetic drain in your life that you're not going to be home to open the door or to receive their phone calls. Maybe you even change your phone number. Aquarius, full moon in your 6th house of work and well-being. Mars conjunct the moon. So there might be some tense situations at work. There could be some sort of transportation issue, getting to work, getting from work, something like that. Like maybe you get snowed in or there's some other type of thing going on where, you can't get home or, I don't know, something maybe crazy might happen. Again, that's just a possibility because Mars rules your 3rd house of transportation. And with this full moon conjunct the retro Mars, so something could go wonky with some sort of travel, like it's local travel. It's like going to work or something like that. And it's your 6th house we're talking about. If you work with machinery, be very careful. Make sure you're awake and whatever machinery you're working on, you are paying attention. If you work with knives, anything sharp, and this is not to scare anybody. This is just, again, knowledge is power. Okay. I'm not saying something like that's going to happen. You just, if you do those things, pay attention, right? We know sometimes with the full moon, we don't get as much sleep as usual. I know I don't. So if you don't get as much sleep because you're sensitive to the full moon, and you work in those types of jobs, just be really careful, be really awake, be very mindful, that type of thing. Okay. There also could be 3rd house rules your siblings. So with the Mars, Aries, 3rd house. So Mars conjunct the full moon. Maybe there's a cycle, Mars retro, of an argument with a sibling that comes back around again. It keeps getting triggered in some way. And it affects your well-being. It's like, oh God, I'm getting a headache again from this. Mars and Aries, Aries rules the head. This has strong potential for migraines also because of something that keeps cycling and triggering and doesn't get healed. So it can be something like that. All right. Also, because the 3rd house rules your mind, you're rethinking what you want out of your work. You're rethinking what you want out of your well-being. And Mars is our action, how we use our energy. You're rethinking, am I using my energy appropriately? Are my actions and my thinking, is everything aligned or is something off kilter? So all of that is possibility for you. Okay, let's see what we have. We have the King of Cups. And we have the 5 of Wands. We have 4 swords in your heart. There's that rest card. We have the High Priestess. And we have the Chariot. Okay, interesting, because I was talking about transportation. We have the Chariot here. Okay, I mean, it's possible that some sort of hidden, with the High Priestess and the Chariot, hidden car problem resurfaces. Maybe it was making that noise before, but you ignored it, or that light came on before and you ignored it. But it could come back around this time, and it does need to be fixed. That is possible. We have the 4 of Swords. Excuse me, I'm losing my voice. The 4 of Swords is in your heart, which is about needing some sort of mental break, mental downtime. You could be dealing with some emotional confusion in the sense of emotional. It's more like emotional chaos, or somebody is running an emotionally chaotic game on you. the King of Cups with the Five of Wands. So somebody who's just, they say one thing, then they want this other thing. They don't know if they're coming or going. And thus, you don't know if you're coming or going with them. This probably Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, but it's just emotionally, they're all over the place. I don't think this is you. I think this is somebody you're dealing with. And that is why at this full moon, you're also very tired. This Four of Swords in your heart. You're tired of dealing with this. Now, again, the full moon's in your 6th house. So this could be somebody at work, but we're also talking about your 3rd house of siblings. So this could also be somebody, you know, brother, sister, or whatever, who's constantly doing this, and you try to help them and you're like, I can't take this anymore. Or it could be somebody else in your world that's just affecting your own mental well-being. 4 of Swords, because that's your 6th house of well-being, with their shenanigans. You're trying to get a handle on what they want or how you can help them, and it's chaos. And then we have this High Priestess and this Chariot. So I think, you know, High Priestess, of course, is our intuitive faculties. And Chariot is the Cancer energy, and that is where our full moon is. So I think you're intuitively realizing that you've got to take the reins in your hands also with your well-being and with maybe something to do with work. If there's something that's very chaotic and stressful, this could be a boss too, who's like all over the place. They tell you do this, do that, and then you're like, I do it, and then they get mad, or they don't, that's not what they wanted, you know, all that type of baloney. So whether it's something kind of coming out of the woodwork intuitively, you know, yeah, the car, or you're intuitively sensing, I've got to rest up. And then when I feel better, I am got to take the reins in hand, this Chariot, and get away from this chaos, because this is not helping me. And Pisces, we have a full moon in your 5th house of love, romance, creativity, the house of the entrepreneur, taking a risk, taking a chance, pleasure. And Mars is retrograde, conjunct this full moon. Mars rules your 2nd house of self-worth and money. This is a classic energy of somebody from your romantic past coming back and testing the waters. This is classic. Or somebody new in your life, but they remind you very much of somebody from your past, and it's a trigger. Okay, so I think there's something that's coming emotionally back around again with something in your life that's 5th house related that is encouraging you to think of yourself first and put into place all of the wisdom and lessons you have learned as the North Node has traveled through the 2nd house of self-worth the last year and a half, and put those lessons into place and say, no, enough of this shenanigans. Remember, moons are cycles. So I think you could be ending some sort of energetic cycle where some energy comes back around and it's really not very healthy or good or nurturing or heart-centered even, in terms of being just generous and lovely. That there's some element of strategy or manipulation about it. And you're like, wait a minute, what is this? So remember, full moons illuminate. So somebody in your life who maybe you thought was not manipulative, and you thought they were kind and generous and really cared, you could see that maybe not. They were running a game. Mars retrograde. But you're not going to get sucked in or make excuses or do whatever. You're going to be like, no, I deserve better. I learned this the last year and a half. I've been learning it with Chiron in this 2nd house. I'm learning this lesson, universe. Get them out of here. So it can be something like that. Okay, let's see. I feel like, the 5th house is connected with our heart chakra. I feel like there's something where an old trigger of emotionally investing in something that's not good for you, that takes advantage of you, you're not gonna be susceptible to that trigger. You're gonna break the cycle and move along. That's what I think. All right, Pisces, let's see what we have. We have the Hangman. We have the Knight of Swords. Oh, yeah. We have the Two of Cups in your heart. We have the Pluto. And the Ten of Wands. Okay. You are not getting sucked back in. It's tempting. I'm not going to lie. It's tempting you a little bit. But ultimately, you're going to lay down that burden. This Death card next to this Ten of Wands. This Two of Cups in your heart, like, you were hopeful for this. You know, and you may still care about this person too, with this Two of Cups in your heart. But you'll be damned. You'll be damned, Pisces, if you're going to allow yourself to sacrifice what you need anymore. Right? You're not going to play the martyr. You're not going to sacrifice. You are seeing your situation from a different perspective of, I deserve better. Knight of Swords. There could be an interesting manipulation tactic that this person tries to pull. Can be maybe some sort of, like, they're trying to get their own way, or some other type of argument or disagreement, or, you know, Knight of Swords is just it can be very militant. It's like it comes in hard and fast, like, this is what we're doing. It's like, this is this thing. And it does it with such, like, convincing arguments and, you know, this demanding sometimes, like, if we're talking about, like, the mental energy of the swords, like, there's, like, no room for negotiation or anything. And if you try to negotiate, there's, like, an argument, like, so I feel like you're also taking the Knight of Swords into your own hands and saying, no more of this. And then we have the Pluto, we have the ending, and we're ending this carrying this load, this burden of, you know, what other people are always trying to get from you, rather than what are they trying to give to you, and give genuinely and generously. Like, that's what you want. You have this Two of Cups in your heart. I mean, Pisces, like, you know, you're going to see with this North Node going through your sign starting January 11th, it's time for you to receive, for you to be on the receiving end of genuine and lovely support. But first, I think something is gonna go. Something's deadwood in your life here. But they still come back around. And maybe you already said goodbye to them. I mean, you could have already done this, but Mars retrograde. They come knocking on the door. They're texting. Hey, what's up? You're like, no. So thank you so much for joining me for your full moon in Cancer astrology and tarot reading. Please leave me a comment. Let me know how you're planning to use these energies. What's going on in your life? I would love to hear. And if you got value out of the video, if you could give it a thumbs up or share it with a friend, it really helps my channel with the YouTube algorithm. And I'd be very appreciative if you decided to do that. No pressure, but if you decided. And if you want more insights into your year ahead, do not forget my 2025 Perfect Timing Horoscope book. Includes everything for all the signs. Link is in the description. Check it out. It's been getting lots of good feedback. I think you'll find it quite valuable. And if you're thinking about booking a reading with me in the first 6 months or so of 2025, there is a special coupon code in that book for a discount with a reading with me. So it's kind of like a win-win. So if you're interested in that, link in the description. Love you guys. Take care. Stay frosty out there. Remember, this is a very triggering full moon. Everybody calm down. Be calm. Cool your jets. Calm. Be very zen. Hang out with your cat or your puppy. Drink a nice cup of chamomile tea and just chill. All right? Love you guys. Take care. I'll see you again soon. Stella Wilde signing out.